Hello guys, it's Freelance here, and today we are going to talk about Warr Fury in PVE. So, first of all, Fury Warrior, Fury Warrior, I think it's a little bit best than Arms. I prefer Fury. I prefer to play Fury a lot more than Arms. And talents. Let's see the talents. So for Fury PVE, you should go double time to have 2 charges of charge, and so you have a better movement around a boss fight. At level 30 you should use Enrage Regeneration. Second Wind was really nerfed when the pre-patch came out, and you either should go Enrage Regeneration or Impending Victory. Well, Enrage Regeneration is a 1 minute cooldown that instantly heals you for 10% and additionally 20% over 5 seconds. So it's 30% of your health, 30% of your health in 6 seconds, 5-6 seconds, yeah. Or you can go with this one that has a 30 seconds cooldown and heals you for 15% of your maximum health. So it's basically the same, they both heal the same, but the difference is that this one you can get half for half the time, and this you get total for 1 minute. So basically it's that. At level 45 there is some discussion about these talents. Personally, I use Sudden Death, but this is my opinion. You can either go Furious Strike or Sudden Death, but it depends, because if you are a Titan's Grip warrior, you should go Furious Strike. Because Fury Strike reduces Wild Strike cost in 25%, and since Wild Strike costs 45%, it will cost 20%, and you can switch Whirlwind for Wild Strike. Yeah, now you're asking, why am I using Sudden Death? Well, Sudden Death is a spell, it's a passive that makes your auto attacks hits have a chance to make your next execute be able to do on a target regardless of his health, and doesn't cost no rage. So I'm using Sudden Death because Furious Strike, it's more of a single target boss. If you are in a boss, single target, for example Iron Juggernaut or Malkorok, something like that, you should go Furious Strike, because you'll be replacing Whirlwind with Wild Strike. Costs less with the talent, and I think it indeed does more damage, but if you are on AoE fights you should go Sudden Death, because you'll be using a lot of Whirlwinds with Raking Blows to AoE, for example in the fight in Galacras or something like that. At level 60 you can either go Stormbolt or Dragon's Roar. I prefer, yeah, Stormbolt, because I was playing Stormbolt before the pre-patch, and I still prefer it because it's a range attack, and I can use it on adds to stun them if needed, or I can use it on bosses and do quadruple the damage. Yeah, so on bosses this does a lot of damage. Shockwave, I don't really like it. No. This is more of a stun AoE for multiple adds if you need only, not to DPS. Dragon's Roar does damage, but I think it does less damage because Dragon's Roar is more if you want to do damage to a lot of adds. So if you need to do a lot of damage to a lot of ads, use Dragon's Roar. Yeah, basically it's that. At level 75 you'll use Vigilance, because if you are in a raid, you see the tank needs, or someone needs to get a defensive cooldown, you just use your Vigilance and will reduce 30% the damage. Yeah, so it's really nice. A safeguard, yeah, it would be nice, but if you use this, for example, on a tank, you'll safeguard him and you'll take the next hit. Yeah. Damn it. No, sorry. This makes them take 20% less for 6 seconds. The difference between this and this is that this is for 12 seconds and you don't need to run into the target and say, okay, I run into you, now I imagine I need to go over there again, so it's bad. But Vigilance, it's better, and Mass Spell Reflection has no place in raids, basically. Bosses, they're not, you cannot reflect spells from bosses, so basically it's done. Okay, at level 90 you can either go Bladestorm or Avatar. Personally I'm using Avatar because the burst, yeah, I like to burst a lot at the beginning, and since I have Galacrus Trinket that reduces the major ability by 48%, I can use all my cooldowns, for example Recklessness, in 2 minutes and 0.3 seconds. 0.03 seconds. Yeah. So, and that's the same as Avatar. Avatar shares the same cooldown as Recklessness, so it's major for me. But if you don't have the trinket, or you need to deal with some ads, and you don't have the best gear yet to do a lot of burst, I suggest you go Bladestorm. And I won't discuss the level 100 talents because we are not yet on Warlords of Draenor, and I hope you guys remember that this is not the talents for Warlords of Draenor. This is the talents for the pre-patch only. When Warlords of Draenor will come out, probably a lot of things will change, and for me, if I will choose one right now, for AoE, Ravager, and for a single target I will lose Anger Management. Yeah. About the glyphs now. Glyphs are... There are two major glyphs that you should use. It's one of them is Unwielding Rage, and the other is Glyph of Raking Winds. Glyph of Raking Winds increase damage you deal with your next whirlwind by 10%. Yeah, every time you use a Raking Blow, your next whirlwind will do 10% more damage, basically. The Glyph of Unending Rage will increase your maximum rage by 20, so as you can see I can go up to 120. I'm using Glyph of Enrage Speed, so when I'm in rage I move 20% faster. It's good in fights that you have to move a lot. And the minor glyphs you just put wherever you want. I'm using Critical Strikes, Summon Flux of Birds, my charge leaves a trail of fire, and Subtle Defender, yeah, removes the threat regeneration in defensive stat. This is good because imagine you need to go to a defensive stance, for example Malkorok, where you, in that phase that you all guys need to stack, and then some DPS or wherever go out because of the debuff. You just pop defensive stance and you still continue to do DPS. But remember, when you pop stances, you need to have the spells there. Don't forget that, because when you are in defensive stance, you can have a different spell. For example, if I change this spell, there's no spell here, but when I go to battle stance, I have my spell here. So don't forget that. Okay, and basically it's done. And About rotations, I can give you the rotations, but remember, this is the rotation I use with my gear. I'm 574 at the moment with no buffs. I have 51.87% critical strike. This is a lot. I will crit a lot, and I have 40% mastery. So this is the rotation I'm gonna tell you, but this is the rotation I use. Only I use. Okay, let's see the rotation. Okay guys, I just entered the dungeon, so yeah, I'm doing my DPS rotation for you in a dungeon, since on the dummies you cannot DPS the boss dummies because they are scaled for level 100 already, so you miss everything. And on the other dummies your Stormbolt will stun and not critical. Now as you're gonna see, I will show you my rotation. You charge, you use our macro cooldowns, you use Stormbolt, then you use Blood Rush, all the Raking Blows you can. You already have a proc for execute, you use the proc, you use Blood Rush whenever you can, and execute again when it procs. Blood Rush to proc always the Raking Blow, Stormbolt on cooldown, execute, Blood Rush again. Basically you use Blood Rush when you don't have any procs or on Raking Blow or Wild Strike, and you will use, for example, on AoE you use 3 Whirlwinds and then a Raking Blow. So yeah, basically your rotation will be charge, cooldowns, Stormbolt, then Blood Rush. If it procs Raking Blows, use Raking Blows. If it procs Wild Strikes, you use Wild Strikes. If you have nothing to proc and this is on cooldown, use Whirlwind to dump your rage a bit, but not all. Then use Blood Rush to gain the procs, and just DPS. As you can see the damage, I did 11k and I did 59% of the damage in this dungeon. Yeah, and I haven't done more DPS because the boss enters a phase and it's the head phase, and I was doing damage to immune. I was not focusing on the boss, I was just showing you guys the rotation. So yeah, easy DPS, especially if you have really nice gear as I do. So basically this is the guide to Warrior's Fury in 6.0.2 pre-patch for Warlords of Draenor. Remember guys, this is for only the pre-patch and not for Warlords of Draenor. Hope you enjoy it, hope it helps, and thumbs up if you like it.